Hello, everybody. My name is Anday, and welcome to another Lego Ninjago Dragons Rising reaction. This is going to be all about Lego Ninjago Dragons Rising Season 1, Part 2, Episode 17, The Administration. Very interesting. We have to see what they're up to, especially in that one episode where we saw them portal in, I guess, take the thing from Rapton, or to the Dragon Energy Core from Rapton, and then portal back out. Which they were even aware that it's a cosmic thing of importance, I guess. But yeah, we still don't know what they're all about, and I'm very excited to see what they are. Really, what their what their goals, their things are, because it's much more interesting to see. Like, we don't really have that many factions anymore, at least not any new ones. But this one, it seems to be someone who's in the higher ups level of, I guess, not technology, but like understanding. So yeah, I guess that's all I have to say for this little prelude. Let's go ahead and watch the thing. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Right here we go. But if you hear any Legos in the background, I swear it's not intentional. Uh. Wow. Wowie wow wow. Okay, poof, a lot to... okay, well, first of all... At least to mention, talk about, well, how can I say this? How can I say this? How can I put this? There was a lot going on in this episode. Like, first of all, like, I think it was... First of all, we got into Wildfire's head a little bit just to see how Kai feels about what he's feeling. Like, after all that's going on with him, all he's had to, he said he's been, wanting to try like relaxations just so he can not let emotions get the better of him. And I feel like it's really fitting for him because, a long time ago he was literally like the hothead. And he still probably is. Probably not as much as he used to be, but definitely for sure. Even more so now that he has, well, someone who he says reminds him a lot of himself, which Wildfire is that's a very, very fair comparison to make, especially to himself. Like, for real. So, like, yeah, that makes sense as to where, why he would want to try to appeal to her so much, and why he wants her to look after how he has been taught, because he really is just her in like the future, and that's so cool. That's what makes it really neat, that like, it's like I said before, like, yeah, she's basically like his daughter, that he can teach his, albeit not super good, but like wisdom onto. And makes sense that he wants to make her better in, like, with all the pranks and all that. Obviously, also not that, but also like, just try to see what's making her feel this way. As so it was also revealed that the core was switched out, which, I have no doubt that Dorama could have done that, because he's such a G, to be honest. And so, like, it's very interesting. Okay, so now onto the administration. Like, we didn't even get like a building outskirts. We didn't get anything. It's just a huge building from the inside, which is either not the back rooms. Like, it's a separate. I don't want to say realm, but like, I mean, hold on. If it helps if people who go into portals from there that are lost to the void and are brought out into the administration, it is technically the back rooms. If you think about it, it is technically the back rooms. Like, bro, because the back rooms are places you can go to if you no clip through reality. That's what this is. They help people that no clipped out when the merge happened. That is so. That has to be intentional. But that still just makes it really really cool, to be honest. Like wow, like really well. They made backrooms as something that corny. I'm kidding. Like I feel like it can be done effective unless the backrooms are always cool in their own way until they invent freaking unholy monsters to be lurking around, and that just kind of takes away the cool factor. IMO. Cause it was much cooler when it was just empty voids of rooms filled with fluorescent lights and shag carpeting. Well, not shag carpeting, but like yellow carpet and yellow walls and such. So yeah, I guess that's all for going there. So we learned that. Okay, the administration. Okay, so we learned that after Zanes have tried some more with the portals, there's apparently a rule now that you can't have too many failed portal tryings, and they picked him up and took him back. And so there was a lot of people waiting in line. This one waited 3 generations to get through that line. That has a lot of implications. Does that mean like... No. Hold on. I know it makes sense. I have it make sense. Okay, depending on when his grandfather got in line, right? He went and had a son who was raised until he can learn to wait in line. And then the son who was learned to wait in line would go take his place after he passed. And then the son would grow to a dad and father a dad. But would he have time to do that if he's in line? Or would it be like adoption? No. It would be, if it's generational, then maybe he met someone in the line and that's how his son came to be. Maybe. Or he had someone else take his place in line and then he went and fathered another kid. But then the kid would not be there until the father passed away and then he would go in line. That has very like questionable interpretations. I'm surprised they would even do something like that. Like, bro, what? Oh well, that's classic Ninjago, right? So it is good to see all these people there though. Like the one purple Venomar or purple Hypnobrai, she was cool. And other people like the Months, the Nidroids, which have red eyes, which is a little concerning. But yeah, they also mention the little area where, of course, the people that are lost in the void of freaking the merge, they come back in there whenever they portal in. So that begs the question: how many people are lost in the merge, and how many people have they brought back already? Which, I mean, like, to be fair, like, like, people want to take down, like, the administration is probably the best place to be, but if it's saving people that are lost in the void, that kind of makes them super, super important. You know? What if Hirumi was in there? Anyways, we also saw, like, apparently they monitor a lot of things. We saw the monastery there, so they're watching the ninja, too. That's unsettling. And well, I guess that makes sense as to how they would figure out the portal stuff. Maybe. I'm pretty sure I saw Borg Tower there, too. And Cloud Kingdom. Speaking of Cloud Kingdom, they mentioned the Curse Realm, which is back again, which makes some sense. I guess it's the Curse Realm would be... what's her name? The preeminent? So, like, they just take those guys right back to her. Which, I mean, depending on where she is, they just are inside her, I guess, or like right by her. Do they like appear next to her and they're like, "Hey, what's up?" She's like, "Nah," because that's again very interesting implications that they are just gonna not elaborate on, which leaves a lot to be questioned. For sure. But also very interesting. Also, Jay, we saw Jay back, but what is with him? He's playing video games somewhere else and is... Do they refer to him as the administrator? Or is he just someone else of higher importance? For some reason or something, and is just fine gaming all day. Not knowing where he is, not knowing where everybody is. I feel like it's a not to directly tie this into something that's just come out. It's like a Loki TVA impersonation, I guess. Like, because they don't seem to have the memories wiped. At least not a few of them. Well, maybe the guy who waited in line after 3 generations. But, like, yeah, they never mentioned anything about memory wipes. They never mentioned anything about that. So, like, what's with Jay? What's with Jay? Why is he there? Why is he in a suit? Why is he there and not with his wife, Nia? Nor his friends. Again, like, there's probably it's probably gonna be episodes, seasons, who knows how long before we go back to this. But it's just like, it is crazy how much stuff they're setting up, and how much things could be elaborated on much later. Like, for real, this is so crazy. Otherwise, we got to see a lot more cool people. We got that the Death Note reference, which I don't know. I've never watched it, but I've seen other anime. But I've seen that one. The little moments where he writes down something and then he moves his hand in such a way to show the pencils to the camera. That was really cool. That's really neat. You don't see that many anime references in Ninjago, at least not directly. But it's fine. It's cool. It's neat. It's neat. So what else happened? Okay, we go back to where we know for sure they get one because the other one was a fake, and they leave it in the monastery, and then they go to confront the. They go to confront Imperium by going right towards it. So it's interesting to see what that'll leave to what's gonna happen. Like, are they gonna send Imperium people after the monastery? Are they gonna confront them head on? What's gonna happen? In any case, I'm very interested to see what goes from here. Like, for sure. Wow, I talked about this one for a bit. It's probably because this one has a lot going on in this episode. For sure. Anyways, yeah, my name is Anday. This has been Lego Ninjago Dragons Rising Part 2, Episode 17. My reaction to it, go watch it on Netflix or wherever, and then watch this, and then like, comment, subscribe, please. And yeah, this has been what I just said, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.